1 year and single for 34 years. Her favorite thing about being single was having more free time to spend and travel with her friends. So Casey, hi, I'm Casey. Okay. Thank you. So InterVarsity, I've been on InterVarsity staff for 5 years. I'm in my 5th year. And I was at San Diego State, and then I've been in North County since 2012. I work primarily with Greek students, but I got API students now, which is our Asian Pacific Islanders small group. You know, all students in InterVarsity are all of our students. I have been married for, I think it's 6 years, you guys. I actually need to do the math. I think it's 6 years. That's pretty bad. It kind of happens. And I got to marry my first kiss. Even though I was a little crazy in the middle, still God brought me back to my first kiss. And I am a survivor of sexual abuse, and I've worked in a variety of settings with those healing from abuse in their own lives. So just wanted to kind of show you guys, I'm going to be answering questions too. I'm going to be walking around a little. But yeah, there's a diversity on this panel, just so that you can see we thought about it, we prayed about it, and we wanted people to be able to answer questions in all backgrounds and all seasons of life. So let's just dive into the questions. Are you guys ready? Feeling so excited? Okay. So, first question. I'm gonna, are we gonna put them up? Yes, we're gonna display those questions so you can see everything we're gonna talk about. Our first question is, why is sex before marriage wrong? By the way, side note, some of these questions are questions that we gathered from students, of questions that they've asked about where does God fit in their sex and dating lives. So that's where these questions are coming from too. So the question is, why is sex before marriage wrong? And what if I know they are the one? Why should we wait? So I'm actually going to start with Anne and let her answer, and then Marcus can answer.
All right, so I think the answer to that question starts with figuring out what is sex in the first place. First we have to define that. And I think something our culture says about sex is that it's just basically, okay. The culture kind of says, well, sex is just basically scratching an itch, right? Like it's a physical impulse, you scratch the itch, boom, you're done, and that's it. That's the extent of the experience. It's a physical thing, and that's it, right? So our culture says, explore it, go for it, it's not a big deal, there's nothing else to it. Once you're done, you're done. Well, the Bible, when it talks about sex, it paints a different picture. And when God talks about it, it says, when you have sex with someone, you're actually becoming one with them. And not in the moment you're becoming one, physically, there's a joining of happening there, but there's also a spiritual oneness that's happening. There's an emotional oneness that's happening. So that at the end of the sexual experience, now you're connected to that person in a way that it's hard to describe. I think one of the writers in the Bible, Paul, describes it. He's like, it's a mystery. We can't even really explain the unity that's happening between these two people. So the best way he could describe it was to say, well, it's as if they're one body. Like imagine the one person now is a head and the other person's now the body. And they're so integrally connected that if you cut off that relationship, it'd be like cutting someone's head off. The one part can't survive without the other. So that's like the weightiness and heaviness that God gives to the act of sex. So it isn't just a itch that you scratch. It's actually this like really holistic experience. And it's a connection of a relationship. So it's a big deal. So then God says, okay, well, I created sex. It's a good thing. It's beautiful. It reminds us of our connection to God. And so it's a picture of that. And God said, okay, I'm giving you this gift of connection with someone, but in the context of a committed relationship. And he says marriage is that committed relationship. And I think there's something about that to say, in the act of marriage, you're saying, I am going to be with you for the rest of my life. I'm going to be one with you and only you my whole life, no one else. And whether you're attractive or not, whether you're old or not, whether you're ill, whether I feel like it or not, I'm going to be one with you. And I think that when we say, oh, I'll eventually marry this person, so it's fine. Actually, you really don't know who you're going to marry until the day of your wedding.